Welcome, everyone, to today's Career Talks, where we embark on a journey of self discovery and professional advancement. I'm Hannah Campos, career advisor, HR analyst, and the person behind Career Week. So, today we are going to explore and navigate between the waves of future skills. This is fundamental aspect of adapting and involving landscapes of the job market and our personal growth. Each of us serves as a futurist, mapping out our individual trajectories of our careers. So just as pioneers of the past relied on maps to guide them through unexplored territories, we too must develop a strategic roadmap that propels us toward our desired destinations. But where do you initiate this process? How do you effectively navigate on these complexities of future skills? So today, we are honored to have here with us Lucas Gertel, who generally shares his experiences and insights with us. Gertel, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you, everyone. Thank you very much. So, as you said before, I'm Lucas Gertel. Today, I'm the AI architect, the AI chief architect here in Avenue Code. And yeah, I have a lot to share. I think it will be a nice talk.
Thank you very much. So, Lucas, in your opinion, what are the key future skills that professionals should focus on developing to stay relevant in the job market?
Okay, great. So, Hannah, I will start first telling a little about my history. I think it would be nice to give some context for everyone here on
Sure.
everything that I did and what I try to do on my daily basis to uh, understand better ways to consume all of the content that we have nowadays, right? And everything that is new and that is shaping the future and the things that probably will be new for everyone in here. So I will give some context and try to explain what I do and let's see how it goes. Okay,
Sure.
great. So just to give context for everyone, I started early in my career and my path is very particular. I have, uh, in fact, I had a lot of difficulties at school, and I didn't go to college, for example, right? So this is different from usual. But uh, and at the time that I started, everything was different. I was 15 years old, and my first contact with a computer was at my first job as a newspaper boy. So, just to give context, Google was only launched on 1998, and the challenge was very different, right? But uh, it was important for me at that time to understand uh, what I could uh, do to pursue and learn everything that I need, right? And to give an example, in 2000, we had to deal with the Millennium Bug. Uh, at that time, we only stored the last two digits of the year in our system, so I spent the new year away, right? So we had challenges already, and that didn't stop me for pursuing the dream that I had, right? At that time was to become a software developer. And I found ways to seek knowledge and delve deeper into the subjects that interest me. And I became at that time the boy who took the bus with Daytel's book under my arm. Daytel was is an author who wrote uh, uh, a lot of different books about the subject, right? And
Mm,
from that time now, I have tried to establish uh, a way to continue learn and study the topics that I think are important and the things that could help me to find opportunities uh, on how the time passes, right? And in the last year, for example, I became the AI chief architect here in Invaluable, and uh, this is something that I have requested. It's funny because I saw, for example, on the ChatGPT release that a lot of things could change, and I got my usual plan and put it in place to make this possible, right? And today we have a team that is working on a platform, and we are trying to deliver things that, to be honest, we don't even know 100% sure of the things that we can uh, do, right? And to
Mm.
that, I have some bullet points in here that I would like to briefly talk about. But I think that the first important thing is that everyone needs to identify and in fact try to identify the key skills that are likely to be in high demand in the future, right? This is very important. I think that not only for technical people, but for any kind of expertise, we need to spend time trying to uh, list things that probably will be important in the future, right? This for me, it can be materialized as a roadmap, for example, for my career, or a mind map that can represent topics that I want to understand better and I want to learn about, right? So this usually is the way that I start, right? And uh, with that, I think that this is very particular, but everyone needs to define strategies for acquiring and developing new skills, right? So this is important as well, because nowadays we have a lot of different ways to learn, but for each one the experience is different, right? So I think that to be successful on this path is it's very important to have very clear for yourself the better strategy to acquire the knowledge on the pace that we need nowadays, right? And together with that, the role of technology in shaping the future skills landscape, right? So, and this year we are talking about AI a lot, and I will talk a little about AI in here as well, because yeah, because for me nowadays, I use on a daily basis to help me with content that I need to learn, right? So I think that technology will plays a significant role on the future, and everyone needs to understand how to use this kind of technology to make things easier, right? So
Yeah.
it's yeah, and
So
feel free to I have some things to talk, and but feel free to hear from me. And
I have an important question here.
yeah,
In the past, what made you connect that AI would be the thing that would change your career, or that AI would be something that, uh, uh, how do you identify that this was a trend market?
okay, great. It's a great question, because this is kind of new, right? So the click happened to me on November 22, I think, that was on the release of ChatGPT. We were already using this kind of technology, but uh, I had the feeling, as you said, right? And what made me feel this way, it was a sentiment, and it was a sentiment that I felt that didn't happen a long time ago, and it was something that remembers my childhood, because I remember when Windows 95 was released, right? So this
It's
is a
true.
thing, yeah, but it's true, okay? Because I remember that when Windows 95 was released, uh, with some of my friends, we got the things that we needed to install it, and we did on PC, and it was something magical, right? It was something very different on what we are used before, and on how those that new in case operating system could transform the way that we work, right? And I had the exactly same feeling when I started to be a heavy user of large language models and case ChatGPT, right? So, and in my career, I saw a lot of nice things happening, right? So from the evolution of the back-end technologies, front-end technologies, and everything in the middle, but the feeling was different, right? So it remembered me this that happened a long time ago. So I had decided to put that in place and transform that feeling into, for example, a business model canvas to present revenue code, and try to transform that feeling into a possible idea that could be probably developed or adopted in the company. And that's what happened, right? So it's a very nice thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a light on your brain. Like, this is something that's going to change the world.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a good feeling.
It was my exactly feeling, and uh, maybe it happens because I had the opportunity to see that happening before, but uh, yeah, it was transforming for me, for the things that I do on my daily basis, and for the things, for example, that I don't like to do, right? I saw that it could really improve the way that I work. So uh, yeah, it was a click.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Windows 95, okay? I was alive. I remember that, but I'm not going to mention anymore. Just not give you my age. Uh, but when you realize that, okay, I'm going to work with AI, you probably need to upskill yourself to relearn how to work or to bring new things to your daily basis. So, what kind of tips or suggestions can you give to individuals to do it proactively, to
Great.
upskill or reskill themselves
Yeah,
to
awesome.
attend
Great.
this demand?
Yeah, and this is exactly the next bullet that I have in here, because it's related to a thing that we have a name, and we call it the lifelong learning experience, right? And this is something that for me is very important, right? Because to become someone that wants to lifelong learn something, we have to develop skills related to adaptability, for example, right? And things that go beyond the technical part. And this is something that I do on my daily basis, because uh, I'm pretty sure that almost 100% percent of the people that is in here with us have a lot of different courses, and sometimes we do not finish even half of the courses that we buy, right? But this is not a problem at all, right? We just need to be sure that we are selecting the right things that we need at that time, and that if we just learn enough to answer the questions that we have, we'll be able to do it better on the next day, and we can be comfortable with that, right? So one way, for me, this is one way um, to not feel the imposter syndrome, right?
Mm.
Because everything happens very fast. We have new technologies every day, and to be honest, I think that is quite impossible to keep the pace and learn everything that we have on the market, right? So the lifelong learning thing in here for me is very important, because it helped me to go forward, to go one step each time without worrying too much if something is not clear, or if I need to invest more time into a specific subject, for example.
Yeah. You mentioned something that's quite important, the imposter syndrome. Do you face it when you're doing things like innovative things like this, and how you deal with these feelings?
Okay, yeah, I face it a lot, to be honest, because uh, it's it's very common. I think that for everyone to doubt their skills, talents, or accomplishments, right? And this is something that I was feeling on the last months, and just to share that with new opportunities, right? We have new challenges and usually new things to deliver, and usually for me at least together this comes with the syndrome because uh, just as an example we are spending time and effort on the last year to make our platform uh, viable, right, for use for our partners and even for ourselves. And it took the last 6 months of heavily work from the development team to put that in place, right? And it's hard, for example, to share the evolution of something and to show the results of something that takes that time to build, right? And as the architect of the team and someone who's also dealing with implementation and things like that, uh, it, it, it was hard to uh, be sure that uh, the things that we were doing it would be the good things to work on, right? And related to what I try to do about that is to talk to people, right? Uh, and I really like to share the way that I am feeling, right? And this, for example, is for me at least is a nice way to get feedback from the team, from the directors, and from everyone that is involved on the subject, right? Because it makes me feel better, right? And it makes me feel uh, in a way that it will be clear for me at least that I am going through the right path, right? So and this helped me a lot because this feeling is common for me, and I think it's common to a lot of developers, right? Because we have a, a, a zillion things to learn, and it's very hard to evaluate our own skills and position on the market, for example, right? So this is what I try to do. I try to talk to people. I try to talk about the subject to understand if I am really comfortable about it and share the knowledge and things like that. Sorry, I just need some water.
No, no worries. I know that as a market that is fast, that everything changes so fast. Uh, what strategies do you use to prioritize the skills you are going to develop?
Okay. Usually, this is related to the things that I need to do, right? So I have, for example, my own personal uh, roadmap for my development on the next years, but I also have all the tasks that I have to work on daily basis. And what I try to do is to create the visibility that I said before, related to the tasks that I am working, and what are the most important things that I need to learn to deliver and finish the tasks, right? And because this is the way as well that I help to fight the syndrome, right? So, sorry, be able to recognize and celebrate the achievements, and even if they are small, right? And yeah.
Celebrate. I'm not celebrating with wine today, but I think it's a good idea to celebrate. We were talking about this. I think it was on a talk yesterday about how to celebrate is important. So thank you for sharing and thank you for being so vulnerable. And
Great.
the last question for us today is, how can continuous learning and adaptation can be embedded in our routine to ensure this ongoing development of future skills?
Okay. Um, I think that uh, the most important thing for me is to seek support from mentors, peers, and even mental health professionals, right? Because it's important, right? And this help a lot uh, on the things related to the question that you did, right? And on the path, I also think that it's very important to not only celebrate, as I said before, but also to try and learn to reframe the failure, right? So uh, if we start to developing this skill, right, reframing a failure, uh, usually this kind of thing help us and becomes an opportunity for growth and learning, right? And yeah, and even for example, practice self-compassion and acceptance of imperfection, right? And this is something that for developers is a challenge, right? Because we
Yeah.
know, for example, all the best practices, but on daily basis, usually it's very hard to apply them all, right? We have to balance a lot of different things. So uh, usually those are the things that I try to do to help me on the way.
Oh, this is good. Embrace the failure as part of the process,
Yeah,
and understand that the process is important, not only the goal itself. The process
yeah,
of learning is something that we must, I think, we must enjoy every day. So
exactly.
thank you for that. So everyone, Lucas, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. I know, I'm sure we have learned a lot today. I'm thinking if you have some final tips to share before we finish our conversation.
Yeah, one thing that I think we can do, Hannah, is to send for everyone here on the chat, on the meeting, via email or other channel. I have a lot of different materials that help me to um, stay firm on the purpose, right? So I have a lot of different, for example, roadmaps that I use to help me guiding and seeing the results, right? Because this is another thing. Usually, we are learning a lot of things, but after 1 month, if we ask ourselves, uh, "What did I learn?" Probably we will not remember, right? And so I have created on my side a visual way to see that in a form that will bring all the other things that I said before, right? So uh, I can share this material. I just need to organize them, and then we can put on an email or a place
Yes.
that people think it will be good, right? And this is important to visualize, right? To have a single place or more than one place where you can remember the things that you have learned already, right?
I'm here anxious for to see this material. I think it's going to be, and if it's not organized, you can send to us anyway. We organize here the things for you. No worries. Okay.
Okay, I will do that. Great.
Thank you. So thank you a lot. Thank you everyone for being here. I hope to see you tomorrow on our fourth day of Career Week. We have lots of things. We have a workshop tomorrow and many talks to inspire you. So thank you a lot and see you
Thank you very
tomorrow.
much. Thank you, everyone. See ya.